a few years, guys who we really fell for. At what point does Anthony Buckets Blakes realize that the NBA might not be there, but there's a 25, 30 maybe year basketball career if you just click a little bit to the left and go Globetrotters? When was that moment for you?
Well, actually, it was when I returned from playing in Europe. I played in the D-League, like you mentioned. I played in the CBA first. The CBA went bankrupt. I played for the Rockford Lightning. Stacey King from Chicago Bulls was my coach.
Get out of here.
I had Corleone Young on my team.
Yeah?
Got drafted out of high school. JoJo English. Who else? I had a big Joe. I forget Joe's last name. He played in the NBA for a while. Tony Smith.
Love
from
Tony.
Marquette.
Yeah.
He was on my team. He was actually my roommate. So after CBA went bankrupt, I went to the D League. I got drafted to the D League. Actually, we had an inaugural training camp in Sewanee, Georgia.
Cool.
And it was 10 guys, and they were only keeping like 45 or something like that. And I ended up making it, which was pretty cool. Then, after one season, I did well too. And I played with somebody from your alma mater, Jason Hart.
Jason Hart, absolutely.
I also had Big Paul Grant on my team, Lee Scruggs from Georgetown.
It's a good team.
Scooney Penn.
I love from Boston College.
Boston College. I had Rusty LaRue from Purdue. A lot of guys. So I felt like it wasn't for me. So I went to Europe that following season.
Cool.
And I played in Europe. And then 2 days after I returned from playing in Europe, the Globetrotters gave me a call.
Oh, my God.
And they sent me on a 10-day contract and signed me after 6 of those 10 days. Cool. But my first game as a Harlem Globetrotter was at Madison Square Garden. Always wanted to play there. Never had a chance to.
I just got chills thinking about, that call.
And Curly Neal was there, and it was sold out.
Wow.
So, and then I started reading up on the history of the team. And I got offers to play in other places for a lot more money.
Sure.
But you can't pay for peace of mind. I knew that I'd get an opportunity to be a part of history. Globetrotters is a household name. This is now our 89th consecutive season.
It's remarkable.
Since 1926. But how they changed the world by, integrating the game of basketball.
And when you consider what 89 years really means. I mean, that's before 65. That's before,
before all the civil rights and all that stuff. They were actually, Globetrotters would play for an all-white crowd at a certain time, then an all-black crowd, to eventually blacks on one side, whites on the others, till an integrated crowd.
My God.
Now, the only color that matters is red, white, and blue when you come to our game. So I think that's a blessing in disguise, and we also build bridges between the United States and other countries, because our government used to use us to, kind of keep the peace, so to speak.
That's the truth. Anthony Buckets Blakes, a member of the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters, former Wyoming Cowboy, former Asheville, again, what was the name?
Altitude.
Asheville Altitude. Where in Europe did you play?
Cyprus and Finland.
Oh, my God, this is awesome. It is the Anthony Buckets Blakes World Tour, and he's a Globetrotter, so it makes sense. The Globetrotters will be here in Springfield next Wednesday and Thursday, February 18th and 19th at the Mass Mutual Center. Before I let you go, and this is an absolute pleasure for me, I really appreciate your time.
No problem.
Talk to me about the state of basketball now. I teach at the college level, Springfield College, right up the street where basketball was invented in the communications sports journalism program. It's my full-time gig, and I'm constantly telling 20-year-old people that resting players in the NBA, resting your superstars, wasn't how it always was.
No.
Can you talk to me about how does Anthony Buckets Blakes feel about watching superstars get the second night of back-to-backs off in the NBA?
It's actually weird to me because I am from Phoenix, Arizona, and if you guys do know, especially from this New England area, they used to go have some hard games against the Boston Celtics for the finals back in the day when I was, a lot of it I seen on beta because my parents recorded it, and then I'm 5, 6 years old, I'd pop one in. But I was born in the 70s. But those guys played hard-nosed every single game all season. You got guys with stats that surpass other guys who've been playing for 15 years. Oscar Robinson.
True.
True. Those guys got hurt and come back and still put up numbers and make it to the Hall of Fame in 6 seasons. It's because they grinded out every single game.
Completely.
But sitting, it just wasn't. It was unheard of. I'm a Kevin Johnson fan. I've never seen him sit out. You know, Larry Nance was there.
Thunder Dan Marley was always up for a fight.
Oh man, Thunder Dan Marley. Kurt Rambis came from the Lakers to us, and you know Kurt was ready to fight. He already had the tape on his glasses.
Came pre-snapped.
Yep. Tom Chambers.
Yep.
Charles Barkley.
Yep.
Even Mark West. He was a pretty underrated center. You know, he did his job. He helped them get to the finals against the Bulls. Those guys were hard-nosed, and you watched them play. Nobody wanted to sit out.
Sure.
They didn't want to sit out.
Uh-huh.
And they didn't have the same exercise programs, the same strength and conditioning programs, the knee braces modified for their knees, the shoes specifically designed to their foot with the orthotics inside. You know, they just grinded it out.
Yeah, they're old Chuck Taylors, right?
Exactly.
They were wearing the canvas Chucks.
Curly Neal played 22 seasons, and the majority of those seasons was in Chuck Taylors.
Oh my God, can you imagine the feet would look like after then? That's
played
amazing.
in the rain. They played with an umbrella because the crowd didn't want them to leave.
It's amazing.
You know, it's amazing how, you know, I like I said, it's weird to me when I see players sitting out.
One last question for Anthony Buckets Blakes. He'll be back here in Springfield next week, the Mass Mutual Center, February 18th and 19th, with his world-famous Harlem Globetrotters. The Globetrotters, the original cast that you and I got to know as kids, the Curly Neals, the Meadowlark Lemons, got to appear on Scooby-Doo. You and I have seen that a million times.
Yes.
If Anthony Buckets Blakes, and I've seen your IMDb page, the fact that you have an IMDb page is pretty awesome. If you could appear on one cartoon, whether it's current or in the past, which cartoon would it be?
Which cartoon? Current or past? Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, what was your cartoon as a kid? What was your cartoon?
I had a lot of them, but okay, I'm going to say Thundercats.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah. Thundercats.
Lionel.
Baby. Yeah,
Buckets,
Lionel. And then,
Panthro.
Panthro. Yeah, I definitely would have wanted the tank that Panthro had.
Anthony Buckets Blakes, it's an absolute pleasure and a privilege. Thanks so much for all you do for basketball, for all you do philanthropically, and thanks for coming in and spending some time.
No problem. Thanks for having me. You guys come check us out on the 18th and 19th at Mass Mutual also. I'm a Guinness Book World Record holder. You can go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com. There should be some video of me knocking down 6 underhand shots from half court in 46 seconds.
46 seconds?
Yes.
It takes me 46 seconds to load up for a shot from underhanded. That's awesome. Anthony, it's a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you.
CBS Sports Radio, 1450 The Hall. We'll be right back.